So hello students, welcome back to our video classes, and I am Anik Ghosh with you and with your second part of this chapter water. Okay, I think you have gone through the first part because without that you would not be able to understand any of it. Okay, so what you have to do is first watch the first part and after that come to the second part, because second part is just the continuation of the previous video. Okay, so here we are going to discuss about the depletion of water table. So in the first part, we have already discussed about what water table is. Okay. And in this part, we are just going to discuss about how the depletion of water table is actually happening. Apart from that, increasing population. So how the increasing population is affecting our water level, and the increasing industries, how the increasing industries are also affecting the depletion of water level. Okay, the agricultural activity. So here you can understand water manage all these things, the increasing population, the increasing industries and agricultural activities. So all of them are harming the water table. Okay, so right now we are going to discuss about them, what is causing our water problems. Apart from that, how to manage this water from now on. And so what this is the in this part we are going to discuss about the remedy of all these problems. Apart from that, rainwater harvesting. So how can we harvest and how are we harvesting the rainwater and the Bawris? So these are the things that we are going to learn in this video. Okay, I think we are all set for it. Okay, one more thing before starting, I just want to tell you, like, if you have any doubts regarding any of it, then you just write it on our forum. Okay, and someone will definitely reach back to you. Okay, I think I've understood so far that the things we have learned about the water table and all, right? Okay, one more thing, I think you can see there are two short tips that two short continuations of the topics covered is there as well. So drip irrigation and effect of scarcity of the plants, water scarcity on the plants. So the thing is, like, drip irrigation is type of method which is helping us for the irrigation method, for the agricultural activities, okay, without wasting unnecessary waters. Okay, so this method is going to be very interesting and I'm going to show you a very cool videos throughout this chapter. Okay, now we would, in this video, before starting, I would like to revise all of the things we have learned in the first video. Okay, so that we can continue the entire thing in a proper way. So here we are going to discuss about the water table, and just watch this video and enjoy it. So I think this thing you already knew it. Okay, right? Yeah, I think this thing you already knew it. Like, the thing was, where the groundwater, like, if I consider that this is the mountain, okay, and this is the water level, okay, just consider that this is the water level. Okay, now if this is the mountain, if this is the level of water, then at the bottom of the mountain the water would be, would be there as well. Okay, now here you can see this line, the line where the ground and the level of water is getting separated. That line is called the water table, isn't it? We have also learned about it in a different manner as well. So what have we learned? We have learned that in the line, the border in between the saturated and the unsaturated, this is unsaturated part and this was the saturated part, isn't it? Is called the water table, right? Now saturated layer and the unsaturated layer is called our water table. Now Now what is happening about it? So in water table, is we have already learned that water table is from where we take out all the water we need, right? So all the groundwater, all the water that is there going inside the ground through the different types of methods that we have learned in the first video are just getting inside the water table. Okay, they're just wait for a moment. Yeah, so they are just going inside the ground through the infiltration methods, right? And for that reason only, they are getting they are just getting deposited inside the ground. And the layer in between the unsaturated layer and the saturated layer is called the water table. So that is the borderline, isn't it? We have learned in detail about it in the first video, right? So I'm just giving you a quick revision about it now. It may take a couple of minutes. Something's wrong, I guess. Yeah. So let it load. Let it get loaded, and until then, we are just going to continue with it. Okay. So what happens is this is called the water table. Okay. Now, okay, it's done. So the layer below which the ground is saturated with water, that is called the water level, water table. Okay. And now we just keep on continue the video. So you can see that layer where the in this layer you can see this is the ground and this is the unsaturated level. The upper layer is the unsaturated one and the lower layer is the saturated one. So the thing they're trying to tell you is the same thing we have discussed in the last video. So through the infiltration process, what happens is through the process of infiltration, what happens is all the water that falls into the ground, that just sips through it and just goes into the water table. Okay, go beneath the water table, and as a result, there is a layer of water inside the ground. So for that, we call it the underground water. Okay, now what happens is during summer, during summer, what happens is the water table layer, it decreases. Okay, because of the temperature only, it decreases. And during the winter or during the monsoon, it would be better, isn't it? During the monsoon, what happens is the water table layer, it increases, isn't it? Right? Now what are the things that is causing the increase or decreasing water table layer? The rain, the melting of ice, the different types of water bodies, all of them are doing that. So I think you have seen in this video as well, when or in the practical life as well, like when the rain falls, okay, there is a particular place when the entire water gets like that stagnant water gets it get just it keep on uh, what I mean is like all the water when the rain falls, okay, into a particular hole type of thing. So what happens is all the water get surrounded by the earth there. So okay, there is a hole inside it, and the water is just getting deposited there. Fine. So for that reason, what happens is this layer, if you just look at that, okay, if you just look at that layer of water after a couple of days, what would happen? You would not be able to see any of it. So what happens is this water just gets down, goes down through the pores of the earth. Okay, we call it infiltration, and through the pores of the earth, it goes down below. Okay, through the water table, so that and it is just getting deposited as the underground water. That is how the water table is getting its waters. Okay, and we are taking out this water, or due to the due to the different type of seasons, the water gets evaporated. For that reason, the water table layer, it may increase or decrease depending on the season, depending on our activities. Okay, now so the thing is, like when we are trying to dig a hole to take out the water, what are we doing is we are just going below the water table to the aquifers. Aquifers are the places where the water gets deposited and into the ground. Okay, now this was the revision of the entire thing that we have learned in the last class. Okay, now depletion of water table. Now this is a serious cause, because the amount of water in the amount of underground water is limited, and we are the one who is using this underground water, because for our everyday activity we need these waters. Okay, now the thing is, this depletion of water table, it may cause some problems, serious issues for us. Now the thing is, if we draw more water from the ground than the amount of water which sips into the ground, now think about it. If due to the rainfalls, if due to the rain, the water that is getting infiltrated into like beneath the water table into the aquifers. Okay, so aquifers are the places from where we just dig up to that, we dig the hole and we just take out all the water from there only, right? Now think about it. If the amount of water that is getting deposited in the aquifers, okay, so the deposition process due to the infiltration, if the amount of deposition is less than the amount we take out, then the amount we draw from the underground, then what would happen? Then definitely the water table would go down, because it is a layer separating the aquifers with the unsaturated part. So what happens is, if you just keep on taking out the water level would go down and the water table will also go down, right? Then the water table goes down and gets depleted. Water drawn from the underground gets replenished by seepage of water. So how is it replenished, mean recharged? When the water of the rain or the snow or some from some rivers, okay, when they just seeps down, okay, we call it infiltration, right? Okay, what happens is, when it seeps down and gets into the water into the aquifers, only then the entire water is getting replenished. However, the water table may go down if the water is not sufficiently replenished. So that is the thing. If the amount of deposition is less and if the amount of drawn water is more, then what would happen? Definitely there would be a time when the entire water would get ended. Okay, now this is going to be a very serious problem. Okay, so we need to keep that in mind, that how we can use the entire knowledge we are getting from these videos, from these chapters in our everyday life. Otherwise these things are of no use, right? So right now when you see the wastage of water, just think about the things you have learned. Okay, when you are wasting some water, you are just drawing it from the underground, right? Underground water. So if it does not get, if it's not getting sufficiently replenished, then what can happen? Then definitely there would be a time you would not have any water to drink. And I think you can understand the severeness of that situation. Okay, now what are the reasons for which this water table is going down? So the first and the most important one is the increasing population. Okay, so what happens is, for the increasing populations creates demands of constructions of houses. So I think you can see, like, we construct things for ourselves, right? So that we can live in a in a proper manner. So what we did do is we, make apartments, we make different types of, pavements and all these things. Okay, so shops, coffee, offices, all these things you can understand. Now, to in order to do that, what we do is, if this is the if this is the ground, so when you're making things over here, when you're building things over here, what is happening is, you are just, if there are, small spores in the ground, into the ground level, through which through which the rainwater was going down, was getting infiltrated. Okay, so the holes through which the rainwater was going down, or was getting infiltrated. Okay, so those things are no more, because you are putting some cement over it. So there are no such pores inside the earth. Okay, inside our ground. So the rainwater are not being able are unable to seep through it, isn't it? Okay, are unable to seep through it, and it is not it is not being able to reach the aquifers. Okay, and if it's not being able to reach the aquifers, then there is like the amount of water is not getting replenished. Now watch this video. So they're just saying, if we withdraw that amount of water which is exactly equal to the water which is getting replenished, then there would not be any problems, isn't it? You can see. Okay, so the thing they were trying to say is the same thing. Like, dude, as there are no pores, the water is not going to be inside the ground, into the aquifers. As a result, what is happening? As a result, like, the infiltration is getting, disrupted, isn't it? And as it is getting disrupted, the aquifers are not getting enough amount of water to compensate. Okay, the amount of water which is getting drawn. For that reason, what is happening? The water table level is getting decreased. Fine. Now, the third point, increasing industries. So how the increasing industries are helping this? So water is used by all the industries. So in whatever you do, you need water, isn't it? Almost everything that we use needs water somewhere in its production process. So we need water. We need water as a solvent, or we need water for different types of purposes, isn't it? So the number of industries is increasing continuously. Water used by most of the industries are drawn from the ground. So if this is the industry, so they are just dragging in the all the waters from the aquifers only, right? Okay, they're drawing all the water from the aquifers only. So what would happen if you just keep on increasing the industries? What would happen to it? So it would be a shortage. It would lead to a shortage of drinking water very soon, right? So for that reason only, we need to understand that what is the importance of this chapter, isn't it? Now, agricultural activities is also another reason. Like you can see, like this is how they, they just apply water in their crops, and you can see how much amount of water is just getting wasted in the process. Okay, because you cannot rain in India or in like in these type of countries, you cannot wait for the monsoon to come, right? You need to make up your backups. Okay, for that reason they take water from the undergrounds. Okay, so water from the undergrounds. Okay, so they're just taking it and they're just spreading it out. They're just wasting so much water in the process. Okay, so for that reason we cannot wait for rainfall as well, so we have to do something for it. Okay, this is another reason why the water level is decreasing. Fine. Now coming to this point, now the activity of movement of control of water resources to minimize the damage of property and life as well. Okay, and also also to maximize the efficient beneficial use in the known as water management. Fine, let's watch this video. So we all have this pump house, right? Like that only, which draws all the water from the underground and so getting supply and giving supply to the entire house. That is the thing. We need more spaces. We need more constructions for that. So open areas in like the parks and the playgrounds are just getting reduced because of this concrete roads. The seepage of water is not there, right? Yeah, that is also a very good point. So in construction works as well, you need enough amount, you need a, enormous amount of groundwater as well. So industries as well, you can see in that way only industries as well taking out the water. Yes, so every industries needs water, to produce things, right? Okay, that was the entire thing about it. So you just take your time and watch the entire video if you have time. So I'm just going into the next topic. Okay, so rainwater harvesting. So in the way, let me just check. Yeah. So rainwater harvesting. So what is this? Rainwater harvesting is the collecting of runoff water. So if you just think about it, when the rain falls, if you just somehow you can collect it all, then what can happen? Then definitely you can use this later on some different types of works. That is what they're talking about. So rainwater harvesting is collecting the runoff water. So the water which is just getting runoff from a structure or other. Wait for a moment. Rainwater harvesting is collecting the runoff water from the structure. Okay, yeah. So that is, just ignore this part, okay, this part of the writing. So that they are trying to tell you is when the rain is falling, okay. I think you have seen there are some rain roofs. So what happens is in this roof there will be something like this. There will be a small hole. So when the water falls, so this water goes through the small holes, and you just take it, you just collect this thing in another beaker or another something like that, okay, in a container. So what would happen is that when this entire water which is falling, okay, from as a rain, which it is getting a place from where you can also use this again and again. Okay, so that is how we can harvest water. The rain will collect where rain will collect in gutters that channel the water transports. So the thing is about in here is when the rain is falling, so there are some small pores right inside our ground. So what would happen is the water would go through it. Fine. So anyways, and from the drains and gutters as well, it is just falling into the different types of like water bodies only. Okay. Now watch this video to understand it in a better way. We have only 4%. We have only 4% of water in India. So just look at this. Like this is how you can collect this rainwater. You can see it over here. Okay, you can see it over here how you can collect this rainwater, or you can do other things as well, like from where this rainwater is coming. So after you just take all this water, you can use it again, right? This is called harvesting only. So you can just make a rain roof, okay, from where the rainwater can be collected. Okay. Just see. Due to the internet problem, it is making so much mess, isn't it? So due to the presence of overutilization, this water we cannot take it. Different methods we use. You have seen these type of sunroofs, isn't it? You have seen these type of sunroofs because of this rainwater only. So rainwater harvesting is helping us in so many ways. You can see, okay. So in all these ways, like you can save this water, you can use it. You can use it for industrial purposes. You can use for your own domestic purposes as well. Okay, and that way, and the other thing is due to the presence of rainwater harvesting, you are also helping others as well. Okay, you can also take this water and helps others as well. So this process is nothing but, we just collect all this water, those are possible for us, and after that you just harvest it. For that reason we call it rainwater harvesting. Now the Bawris. So what are the Bawris? So you can see Bawris are the traditional ways of water harvesting. So what happens is, you just I think you have seen, like they just dig a big hole, okay, and to the water table. Okay, and after that they just make some staircases so that anyone can reach that part. Okay, so these are the deep wells dug into the ground which have steps to reach the water stored. Okay, so these steps are going to just showing them the way to the water source. Okay, now this thing you can see in the picture, that is a Bawris. Now drip irrigation, this is the method through which you can, to save the water. You can see in the GIA what happens is, they just use some small holes through which the water would come out very slowly. Okay, so through the porous part of the soil, the water just what they are not using the entire like sprinklers like they did in previous way. Now they are just using this type of pipelines, which is just going to, you can see it, what is the function of it. Okay, to save water. Okay, now what are the effects of the scarcity of plants, water scarcity on plants? So plants needs water to get the nutritious food. So you know that plants carbon dioxide, they takes carbon dioxide and water, they gives. Okay, so you can see we need water, the plants also need water. The green characteristics, the green character of the planet shall be lost. Okay, this may mean the end of all life. For a world without plants shall mean no food, no oxygen, no enough rain, and and innumerable other option. Okay, so this is the thing that would happen. Okay, if the water scarcity of water started showing up. Okay, so we need to get ready for these things from now on only. Okay, so that was all about it. So now the thing is, so we would go to the FAQs, how groundwater is recharged. So you can see via the rain, via the snowfalls and all. Okay, via these processes, what happens is So rains also, it is getting infiltrated. It is getting infiltrated, okay, to the aquifers. What the point? That is how it is getting regenerated. So the rainwater from the source, such as rivers, the pond, and seeps through the soil and fills the empty spaces and the cracks deep below the ground. The process of separating water into the ground is called infiltration. The groundwater thus gets recharged by this process. Okay, so that's it. I guess you have understood all of it. This was a very simple topic, and the videos were also good. I think you have understood it, and if you have any doubts, please just write it on the forum. I will Anik Ghosh with you. I will just come back again with a new video. Until then, keep on learning from Ask IITians. Bye everyone.